Hello Year 1. This video will help you with your Maths home learning for Monday the 28th of January, and today we're going to compare heavy and light objects. Now this is a new topic, so before we make a start we're going to be looking at some vocabulary linked to weight. Now when you have a weight you tend to be comparing things, and when you compare weight you look at things that are light in weight and you look at things that are heavy. So you could say that the feather is light and the chair is heavy. Now when you're comparing two things, you also tend to use words like lighter and heavier. And if you notice, both these words end in ER. And these are useful words for comparing two things. You could say that the feather is lighter than the chair, or the chair is heavier than the feather. That's for when you're comparing two things. Sometimes you might need to compare three things, or maybe even four. It's basically more than two. And when you're comparing lots of different things, then you have to use the words lightest and heaviest. So in a whole class of children, you could weigh all the children and find out who is the lightest, and then you could find out who is the heaviest. Okay? Throughout this week, we're going to be using these words in our maths work. Next, let's have a look at different kinds of weighing scales. Let's look at these two first. Now, these are usually found in the kitchens or maybe in a vegetable shop where you would weigh light things like fruits and carrots, okay, or cooking things like flour or your sugar when you're cooking. So these you tend to find in the kitchen. This one has a face a bit like a clock with a needle and shows the reading on the side, and this one is digital, so you just place your apple or your bananas here, and then you will be able to read the weight on the side here. This one and this one are both used in the house or maybe the doctor's clinic where you weigh yourself. So if you're on a diet or trying to lose weight, you might stand on one of these. And again, this one uses a face like this with a needle, and it tells you how much you weigh. This one also tells you how much you weigh, but it's digital. Okay, so it's slightly different the way it tells you how much you weigh. This weighing scale is very old-fashioned. You don't see many of them around, but it used to be used before. You used to put one thing on one side, and then you have these little weights that you put on the other side. And to find out the weight of something on this side, they have to be level. Okay, we'll be looking at this kind of scale later. These weighing scales are used when you go on holiday and you've got suitcases and you need to weigh how much they are, because you're only allowed to take a certain amount of weight with you. So you can put your suitcase on the end of this, lift it up, and it'll tell you exactly how much it weighs. Let's do a quick sorting activity. So I've got the word light here and the word heavy here, and let's sort these objects out into whether they are heavy or light. And before I give you the answers, pause the video and see if you can have a go at working it out for yourself. So which one is light and which one is heavy? Now that you've had a go, let's see if we can organise them. Right, we've got some peas here. So are peas light or heavy? They're very light. Hardly feel their weight. Let's have a look. You've got a wardrobe here that you put all your clothes in. Is it light or heavy? It's actually heavy, very heavy, very difficult to move. We have a feather here. Light or heavy? Very light. We have a chair here. Light or heavy? Well, it's not as heavy as a wardrobe, but it is heavy compared to these things. A plastic spoon hardly weighs anything, very light. So that goes on this side. Did you get them right? Okay, moving on. What I've got here is I'm going to make a sentence using some of the vocabulary that we looked at earlier. And we're going to compare objects. So we've got a bus here and we've got an apple. Let's read this sentence. The bus is heavier than the apple. That's correct because it is. Now, I can actually change this sentence by moving the word heavier away and replacing it with the word lighter. Let's see if the sentence still makes sense. The bus is lighter than the apple. Is that correct? No, we need to swap these over. So if I put the bus over here and put the apple on this side, and I put the bus on this side and read my sentence again. The apple is lighter than the bus. That makes sense. When you go on to your to-do, on the first worksheet you've got similar sentences with objects and you need to compare them using the word lighter and heavier. You've got some text boxes here, so click on the text box and type the word lighter or heavier, but read the sentence to make sure it makes sense. The pencil is something than the books. Well, the pencil's obviously lighter, so you need to type the word lighter there. See how you do with the others. Here we've got the sentence, but the objects are missing. And you've got a range of objects here, so you can choose any of them that you like and see if you can make up your own sentences to compare how light or heavy something is, so which is lighter and which is heavier. Now, if you want to choose something else, there is a clip art box here. You could open that up and you could find other objects and things to put in there, but make sure you make them smaller to fit onto the sheet. Have a go.